Hi guys, how you doing? So this is a bonus video, the first actually, and I'm gonna try and do this weekly, as long as you guys you get involved. So basically, this is gonna be a movie debate video. I'm gonna pick three topics. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on them in roughly around 15 minutes. And hopefully you guys will comment at the end of it. Can comment questions, ask me stuff. You can tell me I'm an idiot if you want. If you don't agree with half the things that I say, but hopefully you'll like to hear my opinion, and then you guys will comment as well. Because I'm talking about things I'm passionate about, and hopefully there's some of you guys out there as well who are passionate too. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, I basically have a list next to me, and it's not a massive list. There's only 3 things written on it, but I just want to go through the things. And like I said, it's a movie debate. We will do other things if you like. I'll talk about books, anime, comic books, just all kind of things I'm into. But for right now, this video is a movie debate, Q&A, if you would like. That part is completely on you guys. So the first thing on my list is what's wrong with the DC cinematic universe. So I've kept quiet. I've deliberately not said a lot about the subject for a while. Been trying my best to avoid it. By the way, if you hear a kid in the background, my little girl's just gone to bed. I'm trying to film this quietly, but then at the same time, she's about that age now where she'll just play in a cot until she's tired, and she's coming out of a cot soon to go to bed. It's a crazy life being a parent. But yeah, let me get back to this because I digress. So yeah, what's wrong with the DC film? I mean, originally, I don't think anything was wrong with the DC films. Here's the thing, right? I really liked Man of Steel. I thought it was an awesome movie. And literally, there were a few things, like a few glaring things. When I originally sat down and watched Man of Steel, I was a bit like, hold on a minute, all these people are dying in the city. He pretty much killed General Zod. What's going on here? Not like Superman. It's not, his MO or whatever. But yeah, but it made sense when Batman and Superman came out. Here's the thing. When Batman and Superman came out, it made sense to me. It answered a lot of questions. So if you didn't like Man of Steel, I would go back and watch it again, then watch Batman v Superman. I'm not going to spend too much time on this subject, but Suicide Squad, I enjoyed Suicide Squad. It was a pretty good movie. The next thing, and obviously Wonder Woman. Phenomenal movie. I loved Wonder Woman. I think Gal Gadot is really good in the role. So yeah, I have no qualms there. I honestly enjoyed Justice League. I know they had a lot of issues, behind the scenes, but for whatever reason, right, this is the big thing. You shouldn't compare it to Marvel. Like, they've been going about it longer. They put a lot of effort into their movies in their big cinematic universe. DC is still taking very small steps. You have to understand that. You cannot compare it to Marvel, because that's when you become one of these douchebag idiots who just say things without really thinking or meaning anything. You just say things, yeah. I'm sure Aquaman's going to be a brilliant movie. The thing that worries me at the minute is the fact, I'm not sexist, but, obviously Wonder Woman was successful, and now all of a sudden DC are all like, oh, let's jump on the bandwagon, Captain Marvel's coming, so let's do Supergirl. Fine, do Supergirl. I want to see a Supergirl movie just as much as anybody else. But I mean, recasting Superman, I'm not really sure about that. I really liked Henry Cavill. I thought he was a brilliant Superman. I'm sorry and sad to see him leave. Same with Ben Affleck. He's my favourite cinematic Batman, and he's leaving. You know, so yeah, I actually don't think there's much wrong with those films. I don't feel like DC can really make their mind up what's going on. They keep going forwards and backwards and doing things, and now they've got this mindset: the film's going to come out, they're going to be what they be, and you either enjoy them or you don't. And with that, we're moving on. So the next thing on my list, and there's a few of you out there who I suspect will be commenting on things and getting back to me on this. So this is Star Wars broken? Well, no, I don't think so. Not personally. I know a lot of people hated The Last Jedi. I know a lot of people didn't like The Force Awakens. These same people loved Rogue One. And I like Rogue One. I thought it was a brilliant movie. But I thought it lacked something. I'm not sure what it is. You know, so don't take me word on it. I don't want to, why did you say this? Right. I don't know. It felt to me like it lacked something. And I can't describe to you what that thing is. It just felt like it lacked something. And it felt a little bit at times like any sci-fi movie and not Star Wars. But regardless, I've loved every Star Wars movie that's come out. You know, I'm a huge fan of the prequels, the sequels, just every Star Wars, Clone Wars, Rebels, everything. Right? Big Star Wars fan. Always will be, I think. All of my life. And this is the thing. I go to the cinema when a Star Wars films come out, right? I buy my ticket, I go into the cinema, and I see a Star Wars movie. Okay? That's what it is. I go watch a Star Wars movie. I pay to see a Star Wars movie, and that's what I get. So I'm never disappointed coming out, oh, they killed Luke Skywalker and all that. Mind you, I've just remembered, like, if you haven't seen any of these films I'm talking about, don't watch this video. But yeah, because I'm going to be dropping spoilers like fucking bombs. But God's sake, I swore now. And also, kids, don't copy my bad language. But yeah, Star Wars. A lot of people hated The Last Jedi. And while I thought a few bits was a bit, I don't know whether it needed to be in the film, but there was things I really liked as well. One thing I personally really liked that I don't know other people liked was the kid at the end. So, like, you know, using the Force to pick that broom up. I mean, that's everything I kind of want from Star Wars. I'm sorry if that pisses you off, but that was really cool to me. Like, the fact all these new characters are going to be able to wield the Force, and, you know, it's becoming something different now. Like, it's not just something Jedi use. It's an ability that people can tap into. I really like this concept. I've got to say, I'm well hyped for Star Wars 9. I'm going to quickly say, by the way, I love the Han Solo movie, right? And, you know, it might have bombed at the cinema. It might not have done so well compared to other films. But I will say, the reason it didn't, and this is bona fide, in my opinion, the reason it didn't do so well is because of Infinity War. Because of Infinity War. Honestly, there's nothing else, right? Infinity War come out, the whole world went to go watch it in the cinema, and it blew our damn minds, right? We was not ready for any other movie after that. And I know I tried. We went to see Deadpool 2 afterwards, which I loved Deadpool 2, by the way. But all my feels went into Infinity War, and then I couldn't feel when I went to go watch the next film. I sat there, and it wasn't that Han Solo was a bad movie at all. It was a really, really good movie. But it's just Infinity War. It literally just starved me of all my emotion that I carry when I go to see films. I don't know if it's the same for anyone else. It just, two very big movies like that, and, you know, throw Justice League in there as well. You are a bit, I would say, overwhelmed. I didn't feel overwhelmed, but I guess now I think about it, yeah, it probably was that. I just, well, you know, anyway, if you're a Marvel fan, you've gone to see these movies, you've probably felt the same way as me. It's just hard to explain. You can't put it in a tangible frame of words that you would understand. But I absolutely don't think Star Wars is broken. I don't think anything's wrong with it. I will carry on being a fan. And if you're a fan as well, don't forget to check out Star Wars Theory. It's a YouTube channel. It's got a fan film coming up, a Darth Vader one. It looks really, really good. I was a bit gutted because they originally auditioned this guy called Jesse, who was really good, but he just didn't get the role. And they're all good who have auditioned, so I don't mind anyway. That's going to be great to watch. I can't wait for that. So I don't think Star Wars is broken at all, and I would happily have a Star Wars film every year for the rest of my life. I will not get sick and tired of it. You know, people complain about little things to do with these movies, and I really just think some people sit there and they're like, oh, let's have a good moan about Star Wars because I'm entitled and I'm more of a fan than everyone else. Just, when are we going to get past that as humans, you know? Like, when are we just going to go see a good movie or just enjoy it for what it is? The last thing on this list is, are Marvel films perfect? So obviously I had to give this quite a lot of thought. I don't personally think they're perfect. If I sit here now and go Iron Man 1, brilliant, Incredible Hulk, really enjoyed it, you know. Captain America, the first Avenger, that first Captain America film, still to this day one of my favourite Marvel films. I think it'll always be up there. Really loved the first Avengers. I liked Age of Ultron as well. People had thought there was problems with that. But what I'm saying is, I don't know, it's kind of like Thor was great, and then Thor Dark World, even though it was a good film, lacked a little. Do you know? Iron Man 1, perfect film. Iron Man 2, for some reason, lacked a little bit. I don't know if it's just the sequel thing, but you do get that with Marvel films. And then I wasn't the biggest fan of Spider-Man Homecoming, you know. That probably shocks people. I like Tom Holland. I think he's a good Spider-Man. I personally preferred Andrew Garfield and that whole thing. It took me a while to get over that because I really, really enjoyed the Amazing Spider-Man films. If you didn't, fine, right? We can agree to disagree, but he was my Spider-Man. I really enjoyed that. And I've enjoyed every Spider-Man film that's ever come out. I still love the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films. I've got posters all over my walls. The majority of my Spider-Man figures are based on them movies. But quickly going back to, I wasn't a huge fan of Spider-Man Homecoming. There's a few things, like, people seem to forget with Marvel that they're not always right up there and they don't always get things perfect. But it's like people skip over it because it's not as bad as DC. Do you know? It pisses me off that there has to be competition there. I guess it will always be that way. People will always have to do this thing where it's like, oh, it's a competition. Marvel's better than DC. I'm not like that. I'm going to throw that out there now. I literally don't care. I love all these movies to death. I will always love these movies. I will always love these franchises. I still read just DC comics today. That won't change. I read Marvel comics. But this is what I was going to say quick. You think that Marvel are top dogs. I've always thought that DC comics are better than Marvel comics. Don't shoot me, but I just have. I find the stories more compelling. Not always the case, but it's a ride for me reading a lot of DC comics, and I can name more DC classics probably than Marvel ones. I mean, and that's not saying Marvel are bad or anything, because there's some really good. I liked the whole Secret Empire thing in the comics, and I really like the Superior Spider-Man storyline as well. Coincidence? They're both Dan Slott, maybe, but I just thought I'd say that quickly. But yeah, Marvel films aren't perfect. No film is actually perfect. I've studied media for 4 years, and you know, I really considered going into TV and film. And it's a hard process going from creating something in your mind, having a vision, and then seeing that vision come to life. It's a really hard process to go through it all, from one to another, and all the work, and you have no idea how stressful and hard it could be sometimes. Or you might have an idea. That's not me being a dick. Like, there might be someone sat out there watching it. Zack Snyder might be sat out there. If so, you know, it was kind of shit what happened to your family. I'm sorry about that, mate. I don't think you were the worst writer in the world, but maybe you should have been a bit more open to things when the DC films was being shot, like Batman vs Superman. Second opinion or something. I don't know. I'm not knocking you because like I said, I enjoyed those movies, but you didn't really help yourself a lot. Yeah. So DC films, I'm still enjoying them. I'm not a big fan of the fact that it's everywhere now. It's all swings and roundabouts. It has discouraged me a little bit now as a fan. I'm really sad to see Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck go, if that's the case. Still hyped for Matt Reeves' Batman, regardless. Star Wars isn't broken. I don't see anything wrong with any of the movies. You Star Wars fans, like, you die-hard Star Wars fans, you are the worst. You ruin everything for everybody. Fight me. I don't care. It's the truth. And lastly, yeah, the Marvel films. They're not perfect. No movie is perfect. And for people to compare it to DC and get militant about it is just a little bit childish and petty to me. So there you go, guys. That's going to end it there. Let me know your thoughts. Put them in the comments. I want to keep this easy going. I don't want to cause any fights or anything. I'm sharing my opinion, and I want your guys' opinions. So please like, comment, and share, and subscribe to me, because I'm going to be doing this quite often. And I just really want to share my opinions with you guys, and also hear your opinions. That's very important. So thank you very much for watching this today, guys, and I will see you very, very soon. I keep missing the stop button. I'm terrible at this.